So what's happening guys, it's me Parth and finally a what's on my iPhone video. It's been a really long overdue video, just like every video of mine. But really the last what's on my iPhone video that I did was 3 years ago in 2014, and I've just been doing what's on my Android videos for the past 2 years. So I hope you welcome the change. And in case you want to see a what's on my Android video this year too, let me know. I might as well do that. But anyways, in the last what's on my iPhone video, I showcased what's on my iPhone 5. Today I'm gonna show you what's on my iPhone 7. So truth be told, I actually use a case on my phone because it's so fragile, but then I also like it naked a lot of times. But anyways, the case that I'm using is the Playproof case from Rhino Shield. I've actually been using this for the past 9 months, basically from the very beginning. And I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of cases, but I like this one. It comes in multiple designs and it basically covers the device from everywhere. It's also very rigid, very tough, although the glue has started to come off recently. But it's really not a major issue, at least as of now. But moving on, talking about what's in my phone, the first thing that you'll notice is of course this wallpaper. It's actually an image captured by my buddy Gio. I really don't know what this is, but it translates simplicity, and that's exactly what my taste is, so I have it. I'll leave it linked below. But upon unlocking and jumping to the home screen, you will barely find anything new. It's pretty much filled by the stock conventional apps that come by default. There's one not so popular app that you might notice. It's known as FS Creator. It's basically the app of my channel network, the one that I'm affiliated to, so it might not be of any concern to you. But then there is the music folder including Sawan, Wink Music and Apple Music. I like to go with Sawan. And then there of course are my Instagram and Twitter. You've got to follow me on both of these platforms. Links below. Then we have FameBit, which is basically a platform where content creators and brands can collaborate and do some business together. But it hasn't really turned out to be of any help to me as of now, but I have it anyway. And that's all that I've got on my home screen. But moving on to the next screen, the first unique app that you'll notice is Fonto. I also showcased this in my first what's on my iPhone video 3 years ago, and I've had it since then. It basically lets you add text upon an image and you get to customize it by choosing different sizes, colors and fonts, etc. It's a super convenient app for me. It can be for you too, because you never know when you need to add text on an image. So the one adjacent to that is Later, and this is used for scheduling Instagram posts like I just did here. It's actually really convenient for people who use Instagram for business purposes, so they can get the best yield out of their posts by posting them at the most impactful times. The next app now is one of my favorites and is known as Cheat Sheet. It's basically a widget app for the notification panel. So this basically lets you add short info that comes in really handy at times. So it's got a bunch of icons against which you can add some text like I have added, my Wi-Fi password, my flight details, my car plate number. You can also add your address, which can be super convenient. Moving on, there is WeTransfer, which is a pretty straightforward app that lets you share files like images and videos up to 2 GB for absolutely free. The best part about this is that it requires no sign up at all. It's basically like plug and play, and that is amazing. Next up are a couple of TV show web series apps like TVF Play and Woot. Nothing too special there. But then there is this app known as Lens Distortion, which you probably already have heard of. If you haven't, it lets you add some lens flares, light leaks, light hits, shimmer and a lot of effects right on your phone, and they don't look artificial at all. Like, remember my iPod video? You probably haven't watched it. The thumbnail of that video was actually made by this app right on my phone. It's absolutely free, does have some in-app purchases, and it's highly recommended. Next is Tinder, a must-have app to stay healthy. I'll make sure that it's linked below. Moving on, there is Water Minder. As the name suggests, it's a reminder app for you to take water or liquids at regular intervals. It basically sets goals according to your body information that should be apt for you to achieve on a daily basis. Pretty nice. Next, there is Acrobat Reader, Gboard, which is my keyboard of choice, a folder containing cab apps, then a folder containing travel apps, then Book My Show to book movie tickets, OLX to sell shit online, and then there comes the only game in the entire phone called as Ill. I just installed it a couple of days ago, and it's really fun and challenging and more unique than anything that I've got my hands on lately. I won't really tell you the theme. I would rather encourage you to get it on your phone itself. it's pretty good. Moving on, there is this very interesting app called as Cinematograph, which lets you create these amazing combinations of still and motion frames. So part of it would be absolutely still like a photograph, and then a part of it would be moving subtly. However, if you want to export the files that you shoot with this, it puts a watermark on top of that, and if you want to remove it, you've got to pay them. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. But anyways, moving to the next one, this is known as Fancy, and it's an online store that sells all kinds of stuff, from super convenient ones to the super exclusive ones. I probably won't be able to buy anything from here, but I like to window shop here. It's actually amazing for that. Next is the old school Converter app, which still has that iOS 6 design, but I like it. It converts a lot of things, it's really simple, and most importantly, I've gotten used to it. Now moving on to the last page, you'll find a couple of really familiar third-party apps like InShorts, ShareIt, Hotstar, PayPal to transfer funds. Don't really want to use it, but I inevitably have to. Then Fleet, which is an annual GPS tracking subscription we have for our car. Basically lets us track where the vehicle is. And a few more. These are really popular apps. You should be knowing about them, but if you don't, I'll leave a link to them in the description so you can check them out. They're pretty great. But there's one app that I just installed, and that is known as Waze, which is a maps app. But I installed this just the other day, so won't be able to speak a lot on it, but I've actually heard good things about it. But quickly moving ahead and getting to my favorite folder in the entire phone, and that is wallpapers. It's got 3 apps. The first one is known as Papers, and it's definitely not the best wallpaper app that you'll find. I mean, the UI sucks, but the wallpapers are pretty decent, and you also get to preview them, so that's pretty sweet. But the next app in the list is known as Wallpaper itself, at least that's what I call it, and it's got probably the best UI of all the wallpaper apps that I have ever used. The wallpapers too are of great quality, but it does have in-app purchases to unlock the entire stock, which is a bit sad. But last but not the least is probably the favorite wallpaper app of everyone, called as Vellum. It's totally free, has a lot of wallpapers, and it's got this feature of blurring out the image for the icons to pop at the home screen. It's great. I'll have all of these linked below. Moving on, there is this app known as Frap, which you can use to find internships around the town or in the format of work from home. Although I haven't really used it much, but it looks promising, and I do have plans, so if you want to follow up on the same, feel free to follow me on Twitter. But now coming at the end, we have pretty familiar apps like Facebook Page to manage my Facebook page. Check it out. Reddit, still trying to use it. And last and actually the least, some extras. So that's all from the pages, although there is one special app located in the dock, and it's known as Newton. It's actually an email app, and it happens to be one of my favorites. It's got some really cool features, like it's got read receipts. So whenever you send an email to anyone through this app, it notifies you whether they have read it or not and when they have read it. It's also got features like scheduling emails, undo send emails, which is amazing. It can also remind you if you've not replied to an email. Some of these features would be available if you unlock the Pro version, and you actually should totally do that. It's totally worth it and highly recommended. So there you have it. That's what's on my iPhone for 2017. I find these kind of videos pretty boring, so I tried my best to make them interesting. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to share it, feel free to rate it, and of course, if you want to see a what's on my Android video, let me know. Thanks for watching once again, and take care.